The Great Unraveling. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. What if it wasn't just a metaphor? Many felt his first term had an unfinished mission, a goal so big it required a second act. But what if the swamp was not just in Washington? What if it's the entire global financial system? All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. Most of us have heard that famous quote by William Shakespeare. We think of it in terms of our own lives, the different roles we play as children, parents, workers, and friends. But what if we looked at it at a global scale? What if history is not just a random series of events, but a grand play? And what if certain individuals are cast in roles so massive, so critical, that their actions shape the entire stage for generations to come? Today, in part 1 of our series, we are going to talk about one of those players, a man who we believe is playing a part that almost no one truly understands. We are going to talk about Donald J. Trump and his unfinished mission.
We're going to win so big. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to win so big. Thank you.
Regardless of how you feel about him politically, one thing is undeniable. Donald Trump is a disruptor. His first term in office was one of the most watched, most debated, and most controversial in modern history. He shook up everything: trade, foreign policy, and domestic politics. But many people who voted for him, and even those who did not, felt there was a larger goal he was working towards that was never fully accomplished. A promise that went beyond the day-to-day headlines. He left office, had his exit, and now he's had another entrance. The question is, why? To understand the sheer scale of the mission, we have to look back in history at another American president who took on a task everyone said was impossible.
They say they will put it out of a stop when they're draining the swamp.
Okay, so let's talk about President Theodore Roosevelt. At the turn of the 20th century, Roosevelt had a vision. He wanted to connect the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans, the world's two great bodies of water, separated by a tiny sliver of land in Panama. A canal will revolutionize global trade and military movement. But the French had already tried and failed, bankrupted by the effort. The challenges were monumental. We are talking about dense, unconquerable jungle, mountains of solid rock, and the worst of all, disease. Malaria and yellow fever carried by mosquitoes were killing workers by the thousands. To build the canal, Roosevelt had to do something no one thought possible. He had to literally drain the swamp. He launched one of the biggest public health campaigns in history to wipe out the mosquitoes. He had to fight political battles, engineer new technologies, and move mountains of earth. He was building a new physical highway for the world. It was dirty, it was dangerous, and required incredible vision. He was laying the foundation for a new era of global commerce. Now hold that thought. What if Donald Trump's mission is to build a new financial highway for the world? And to do it, he has to drain the swamp. Not a swamp of mud and mosquitoes, but a swamp of old, corrupt, and inefficient financial systems.
Drain the swamp, and that's what we're doing. Now, when I said it, it sounded very easy, and it was going to happen real fast. I didn't know the swamp was this dirty and this deep. I didn't know about the swamp creatures being as bad as they are. They're bad. But nobody can believe what we've been able to do. And I don't really believe anybody else could have done it. Drain the swamp. We're not finished yet, but we're getting really close.
Let's use this analogy so that we can understand this better. Imagine you buy an old house. The outside looks okay, but you soon realize the plumbing is a disaster. The pipes are old, they are rusty and clogged. Water takes forever to come out, is dirty, and a huge amount leaks out before it even reaches the tap. This is our global financial system today. When a person in America wants to send money to their family in, say, Africa, it's like sending water through those rusty pipes. It's slow, it can take 3 to 5 days, it's expensive, banks and services take huge fees, like water leaking out of those pipes. It's controlled. A few big companies own all the main pipes and can turn the flow on or off. You would not build a new, modern, smart home on top of that rotten plumbing, would you? You'd rip it all out and lay a new foundation with new, clean, high-speed pipes. This is the mission. Not to patch the old system, but to build a completely new one from the ground up. A system that is fast, cheap, and transparent. And the new pipes for this system are built with a technology called blockchain and distributed ledgers. All you need to know about blockchain for now is this. It's a new kind of highway for information and value. The old system is a slow road with all the toll booths, banks, clearinghouses. The new blockchain system is a superhighway. Transactions are like the cars. They move instantly, directly from point A to point B with almost no tolls. This is not a secret. The most powerful institutions in the world have been talking about this for years. At conferences like Davos, the World Economic Forum, and the IMF discuss how distributed ledger technology, DLT, is the future. They know the old plumbing is broken. They are all preparing for this new highway. But they have their own ideas about who should control it. Now, let's bring it back to Trump. During his first term, his administration's policies were often seen as disruptive to the old order. But what if the disruption was the point? What if it was a first step in clearing the land for the new foundation? Now, in his second term, his actions are becoming even clearer. One of his administration's early moves was to issue executive orders that create a pro-crypto, pro-digital asset environment in the United States.
And this, David, is?
Yeah, this is the crypto EO. We're going to be forming an internal working group to make crypto, to make America the world capital in crypto under your leadership.
Which is really going up, right?
Absolutely.
All right, David, that's for you.
Thanks, sir.
You find them exciting? They might not be exciting, but they're going to make a lot of money for the country.
He has vowed to make America the center of this new technology. This is not just about making a quick buck on Bitcoin. This is about who gets to design the plumbing for the entire world for the next 100 years. It's about who owns the new superhighway. Roosevelt built his canal to ensure America's dominance in the 20th century. Trump, it seems, is laying the groundwork for a new financial system to ensure American leadership in the 21st century and beyond. He is playing his part on the world stage. We have the man, Donald Trump. We have the player cast in the lead role. We have the monumental mission, which is to replace the world's broken financial plumbing. And we have the blueprint for the new system, built on blockchain technology. But what exactly are these new pipes made of? Which technology is ready to handle the world's liquidity? What role do global institutions play in this? And how does a digital asset called XRP and its smallest unit, known as a drop, fit into this global puzzle? That is where we connect the next set of dots. Join me for part 2.